Good evening and welcome to CM Performing Arts Center's online live speaker series, CM Spotlight. I'm your host, Tim Pappalardo. Thanks for joining me this evening. In this series, we will shine the spotlight on CM's brightest talents to hear all about their lives working in the theater. So last week we chatted with Tony Award-winning sound designer Jessica Paz and CM Alumni. And if you missed that talk, you can go to CM's Facebook and YouTube page. And in a few moments, we will be talking with CM's artistic director, Patrick Grossman, and the cast of CM's upcoming production of Holiday Inn. Bailey Whitney, Steve Cottonaro, and Katie Ferretti. They are all off stage, ready to talk with us today. So as I've shared before, CM is fundraising. Fundraising is incredibly important right now. And we are thinking of brand new, exciting programs to continue our fundraising efforts. But I will tell you, I think the hardest thing to do is to fundraise. I think it's probably one of the most uncomfortable things to do is to ask someone for money or to give money. So I used to work for an executive director of a nonprofit, and he said, getting the mission across and talking about how important a mission is to an organization is difficult. But I think what's even more difficult is asking people for money. So I'm going to take that hard, difficult task tonight, and I am going to ask you, please consider donating to CM's GoFundMe campaign. You can find that at cmpac.com/donating. And I have a task tonight. I have been assigned a task. My task is to, within this hour, raise $500, just $500 to CM's page, to the GoFundMe page by the time our broadcast is done. So I'd ask you, please help me consider making a donation today. So as a reminder, CM just launched a brand new program called CM Live. I don't know if you saw the broadcast last week, but it was so good, featuring talents of our incredible performers. And this week, there is a new host. So Kyle Petty, who was fantastic last week, he hosted last week, and we have a brand new host. And I think the host is John Rivera.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm well, Tim. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm living the dream. I'm staying the course. I'm got my days set. Do you have a routine being at home?
Oh yeah. Well, I've been working remotely for years at this point, so I was kind of uniquely well prepared for the quarantine. My 9 to 5 has changed very little. My dog's schedule hasn't changed. My own schedule, basically, it's been the same. But it's what's been really odd for me is that now everyone is living my life, and that's taken some getting used to. Everybody's home. Nobody can go anywhere. Nobody's. I I live a good 15 minutes outside of Manhattan, and our morning walks with the dogs. It's just bus after bus of full buses of people commuting into the city, and that's not the case right now, obviously. So, it kind of feels like the day after Christmas. Like that's the general overall vibe outside, and I really only go outside for the for the kids over here. So it's taken some getting used to. I imagine being up out of the way, you're getting the same experience.
Yeah, yesterday I realized that I had not stepped out of my house, and it's like I need some air. And I said this to Elise the other day when we were talking. Elise Arpino, the executive director, CM's executive director. I think air is the best thing. I think we all need air just to get out, take a walk, listen to that great Broadway soundtrack that that you want to play, and have that going on in your ear. I'm going to ask John a question.
Sure, of course.
I think you by far have one of the most interesting backgrounds behind you. What is behind you?
Oh gosh. So one might look behind me and think that I'm inside an 8-year-old child's bedroom or something like that because I'm surrounded by toys, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick to my guns and I'm gonna call them collectibles. But yeah, they're collectibles. Mostly what you're looking at are Funko Pops, which are like kind of the next generation of Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
They make them for everything you can possibly imagine. Every TV show, every movie, every video game franchise. If you like it, they make them for musicals.
Really?
Yeah.
Please tell me, is there a Burned at Peters somewhere on that wall?
Not on this particular wall, but out there, so to speak. I'm pretty confident that I can think of at least half a dozen musicals that they've made these little guys for. So
That's so cool.
You intend to have a handful of them, but I'm rapidly approaching 250. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
No, but it's so cool, and clearly you have a love for it because it is very organized.
Well, my OCD is an entirely different topic than my toys. But
well, today we're here to talk about CM Live, John.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
So, but that's so cool, and I mean, it really is beautiful, and I think what's just as beautiful is this program that you're going to be hosting this week, the CM Live Cabaret Series with some really incredible people, the two Emilys, Jay, Ashley, Ryan, Bobby, Samantha, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about it.
So, as I'm sure you're well aware, last week was just outstanding. The theme, what I found really cool about the entire concept is that every week, not only would we get a new cast, but you're going to get a new theme. So last week, Kyle wonderfully hosted, and their theme last week was on the radio. So all the performers were giving us things that we've heard on the radio either in past or recently, and they all did beautiful jobs. But this week is a little bit unique in that it's Broadway tunes, but it's miscast. So everything that we're getting, I mean, these are all beautiful songs. I don't want to bury the lead, but the material is outstanding. The kicker, though, the hook, is that you're looking at the lineup. I guarantee you, I promise you, you're not going to be hearing the songs coming from the singers that you might expect. There's a lot of great surprises in there, and I just can't wait. Like, I'm sincerely, as an audience member, I'm so looking forward to tomorrow night. It's going to be awesome.
So can you tell us one person song? Can you give it away?
You're putting me on the spot here.
That's what we do.
But you know what? I can speak from my personal favoritism. Okay. I can tell you. I'll throw out a couple of nuggets. Some of my legitimate favorite songs, period, regardless of who's singing them, are gonna be heard. So, "King of the World," which Jason Robert Brown, who's just like the guy right now. "King of the World" is going to be one of the songs we're hearing tomorrow. "Being Alive" from Company, which is like one of those songs I sing at the top of my lungs when I'm behind the wheel and I have a long drive someplace. I'm screaming it at the top of my guts. "One Song Glory" from Rent is another song. What I will not do, I refuse to do it. It's in my contract. I will not tell you who's singing. But again, I can promise you, none of those songs, among some of the others, none of them are who you think are gonna sing them. They're just awesome surprises.
I love the concept. I think it's going to be so fantastic. And there's Steve. Right. Well, we'll come back to Steve. Sorry, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Bye, Steve.
I don't think what people know.
Guest appearance.
Yeah, I don't think what people know is that on top of doing the interviews, see, I'm clearly everyone's moving around here. On top of doing all these interviews, I am talking. Steve, go away. Where are you going? On top of doing the interviews, I'm also manually moving things around. So I'm trying to do it all, and sometimes clearly,
Yeah.
it goes a little haywire. But
we didn't know that you could juggle.
I clearly I don't juggle that well. But again, back to Miscast. I am so excited to see this. I've seen the concept before at CM. It's always done so incredibly well, and nothing is better than seeing this from the comforts of my couch, of the comforts of my, watching this. And the best part is because this is recorded, we can watch this on reruns.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
If you miss it, you can definitely go and see it. So John, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing. And I want to say this. CM has so many incredibly talented people who grace our stage. So, and it's just mind-boggling to think how many people we have that we can feature in this way. And the fact that you're a part of this, you're in New Jersey, and everyone is everywhere, that we have these talents, these people, these nuggets of beauty that we're going to be able to be showing and featuring in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
John, will you stay around?
Of course, you can. I've got nowhere to go, Tim.
Well, cool. Stay around because we'll bring you back on again. But I'll let you know. Hopefully, I won't make another mistake. But
I'll be ready.
But we will bring you back in. Thanks, John.
Awesome. My pleasure.
So the live cabaret series is tomorrow, April 17th, 8 p.m. It will be shown on CM's Facebook page and the YouTube page. So John, thanks so much for all that information. So with all that said, let's get the spotlight underway. He is CM's artistic director, who honestly, I can say is a quintuplet threat. Am I saying it right? Quintuple threat. He is an actor, he's a director, he's a choreographer, he's a costume designer, he's a set designer, and the list just goes on and on and on, and he's so humble about it. And honestly, I don't think that there is anything that he wouldn't do for theater and that he hasn't done. And if he hasn't done it, I know for a fact that he will figure it out and he will excel at it. I mean, like he always does everything with 150%. So what else is there to say but to bring him on? Please welcome our artistic director, Patrick Grossman. Hi, Patrick.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. I just want you to know that I know that one of your favorite colors is pink. So we're going to do a big dramatic change here. And maybe you can tell me, do you want to do sparkle? Or do you want to do a purple curtain? Or do you want to do like the light behind it? Or like
I'm feeling the curtain. I'm
feeling the pink. So this one.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Patrick, thank you so much for being here. And first off, thank you so much that you have done for the organization for years. I mean, you are a godsend. There's so much talent that you have, and it's just such a pleasure, to be able to chat with you and to talk about everything about you. And also, we're going to be talking with the cast of Holiday Inn, who are still off stage at the moment, but we're going to be talking with them, but talking with you. So, Patrick, how are you doing? Where are you? You're clearly in your happy place.
I am in my happy place. Not really my happy place, but
Where is your happy place?
My happy place on the beach somewhere right now, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm home in Sayville, New York, and staying in. I do have to go to work at the courts still once in a while, so I'm not completely quarantined in. So it's a little scary, but I am by myself here, so I'm not affecting anybody when I have to go to work. But I'm doing the right thing. I'm staying in, and I hope everyone else out there is healthy and doing the right thing too.
I forgot. I thought that the court systems weren't operating, but that's crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately, people are still breaking the law.
Stop breaking the law and wear your masks, everybody.
Wearing masks.
So I was going to ask you, so when you're not at the courts and you're home, what are you doing to pass the time with social distancing?
Oh, for me, I have to say, I'm kind of, it's nice to breathe a second. I have so many projects. For me, I'm lucky because I have so many projects that have been on the back burner because I'm so busy with the theater and the other job that I'm finally actually getting them done. I just repainted my bathroom. There's little projects I'm doing. I'm catching up on TV shows and just like mentally for myself, I'm taking some time and just like, whoo, it's slowing down. As scary as everything is, it's a little bit, if you look at it positively, it's healthy for everyone to slow down a second and kind of, regroup.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we don't realize how much rest is so important. And I know just looking at CM season and how many projects and activities and special events and things that are happening, do you sleep?
No.
Do you sleep normally?
No, I feel, I realized you'll sleep later on in life. This time. The day is way too short, and CM produces so many different fabulous things that you don't have time. You really don't. One thing opens and you're already 3 months late for the next one. So
Yeah.
gotta keep moving, moving and grooving.
So I spoke with Elise today, CM's executive director, and she said that people that we are trying to be more creative by creative people, and I think
Yes.
that's I think that's so interesting, that thought process. That like we're trying to come to audiences in a new and exciting, different way. Do you have some things that you're doing to stay creative?
Me personally?
Yeah.
No, not yet. I'm still catching up on things I was to do 2 years ago. So I'm not there yet. But hopefully I will be soon because I need to do something for myself soon. But just taking it day by day for right now. And right now the focus is obviously the one place I call home, which is the theater. And I got to make sure that when this is all over, that this is nice, but that we're actually physically there. So
Exactly. So Patrick, we are here to talk about you as a director, and then to talk about Holiday Inn. And also, people online, if you have a question, please feel free to write it into the Facebook questions or the YouTube questions. And I'm seeing them, and I'm going to pull them in as we're going. I'll just give you an idea, Patrick. I don't know if you've seen the program, but how this works. So, like Kyle Petty, so
hi,
exciting,
Kyle.
so
Shout out to my
exciting.
coach,
So we'll be bringing in questions. So please, if you have questions for Patrick, we're going to bring them in. I'm going to be reading them as we go along. So thank you in advance for participating. So Patrick, the beginning. How and why did you get involved in theater?
Tim, we asked such hard questions. Like that's such a come on.
Dive right in.
Oh geez. All right. Hi Joyce, my cousin Joyce. I don't know. That's a really loaded question. Very, very heavy for tonight's thing. Honestly, my family, my mom and dad always enjoyed theater. When we were younger, we went to see a lot of shows at the Gateway and on Broadway. And then I was in 5th grade, I think, and we all know Gail Keyser. She was my elementary school teacher, who's very, very heavily involved in this organization. And she goes, I think that you'd be phenomenal on stage. I said, yes, I want to be on stage. At that time, she was doing, the Creative Ministries was doing Oliver. So I auditioned for it and I got it. Now I had been involved before doing small stuff. I wasn't too, old enough to be on stage. But ever since Oliver, I got the bug. And I was in shows for quite some time. And then I started choreographing for a while, and then I was directing, stage managing. I kind of went through the ropes to figure out, I didn't know what I liked. I liked everything. So that's really how I started at this theater in particular. And that was like going way back.
So you've taken those steps. You were a performer, you did choreography, and now you're at directing. So I would ask you, how would you describe directing to someone who doesn't know what that all means?
Directing. Describe directing. Directing. That's loaded too. It's a lot. It's a lot in directing. I think that People do get it confused a little bit. I think when you watch a show, you're not really too certain of what a director does. Starting from the beginning, obviously a director will cast the show. But certainly the overall product that you're seeing is coming from the director. The whole creativity, the set, the lighting, the whole atmosphere, the feeling. Although you have a wonderful team of designers that are working with you to create this, the overall feel and emotion of the show comes from the director. So that's a lot of research that the director has to do between the overall look, the casting of the show. And then the director has to become every single one of those characters, male, female, whether object, whatever it is. You have to become every single one of those characters so you could understand that character and help the actors that you chose to portray those characters. So it's a lot. It's a lot. You're teaching one person, leads learn their blocking, and that's it. A director has that 40 people's blocking in their heads and choreography and stuff like that. But it's the most rewarding thing that when you get to work with the talented people that we have working for us, because they make the director's job look like, you made me look so good. I'm like, you guys really did it.
Yeah. Like, she lifted her leg up in the air and she's looked fabulous. And
especially with how beautiful, look at Bailey. She's so beautiful. She makes me look like I did a great job. Everyone loves her. The costumes, the lighting, it looks like, oh, and she's just hard.
There's so many facets that go into a production, and you don't realize that, theater. Jessica Paz said this last week, where she was saying, like, she just walked into a theater and she just thought, well, it just happens. The magic of theater. You just walk, everything's just going to be amazing. No, there's a lot of work that it takes to get a production from literally day one up into the moment that curtain rises. There's so much.
When people say, "Oh, it's just a magic just happens," I'm like, doesn't really just happen. I don't know about that.
Yeah. So with directing, did you think that was where you were going to end up? Like, is that what you wanted to pursue?
No. Honestly, I think I'm still confused. I didn't know what. I almost cursed. There's no beep buttons here. Sorry, Mom. I don't know what I really wanted. I think I really enjoy performing. I think it's a lot of fun to. I'm a dancer at heart. That's like what I truly love doing. So growing up and being in the theater, doing a lot of like special dancers, and that's where I really wanted to be. And I enjoyed that. But then I got to a point where I'm watching different directors. I've learned so much through all the years of different directors that I kind of thought to myself, like, I could do that because I have good ideas. But I could do this and I can do that. And I can, and that kind of like intrigued me. So I tried stage managing to see like, I want to manage and make sure that everyone is in the places. I want to take care of my cast. And that was also fulfilling. I love stage managing. So I have a huge respect for stage managers. And then directing came into my lap and I loved it. I loved it because I felt like I'm not a control freak, but I do like having the overall vision be cohesive, where I didn't need to check with 30 different departments, that I could kind of have my hand around it and have a huge team working with me. And I love the feeling of a team working. And I worked all over Long Island, but at CM, that's what I feel like. I don't feel like it sounds so cheesy, like I and team, but I have so many wonderful people that are around me that it's like, you think that you hit the mark already, like we can't possibly do better, and then someone on my team comes in with a good idea and we build on that, and it's just so exciting. So I think directing did come by mistake, and it's kind of where I stayed after. Once I started doing it, I kind of stayed. I never really went back to just once in a while I'll choreograph as a director, but I kind of stayed as mostly a director.
Well, and you've also, in all fairness, you play some amazing characters. You look fantastic. And you were fantastic, and this was La Clage of Faux. No, sorry. This is Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Oh my goodness, you were so good in this show, and but to see you directing, and then acting, and being able to step back and to do both of those things, it's so great. So, what was the first production you directed at CM?
I have to be completely honest. I definitely heard this question before, and I know it sounds awful. I can't remember.
Really?
Is that awful? Because I think that I didn't like. It was kind of like a mix. So I kind of Smoky Joe's Cafe I did with Ellen Zoomlau, who's which you saw from last week's CM Live, and she's also a board of directors. We did Smoky Joe's. I choreographed it and I helped direct that one. So I guess that you would call that my first full main stage show. I have no idea what year that was. Maybe 2000, maybe 99, 2001. I'm so bad. I don't, I know it's awful because you want to remember your first of everything, but it's just there's so much of them, and it's like I said, it's done in different segments, so I don't really know. But I think I'm gonna say Smoky Joe's Cafe.
Do you remember the first show you performed in at CM?
Yes, that was Oliver. That one I know.
Because I remember the all too famous picture of you in Guys and Dolls. Is that the one you're going to talk about? Wait, which one were you going to say?
No, nothing. No, it's fine. It's fine.
I was going to say the Guys and Dolls picture of Craig Boscia and like Michael DeVito and all of them at the stand, and you're standing back there with like the newspaper.
My newsboy role.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that wasn't it.
That was not my first, no. I think that was like 95 though, but that wasn't the first one.
Okay. So you've had so many, I mean, you've been with CM for a very, very long time, and just like I have. I have so many memories, so many grand memories, but is there one memory or moment at CM that you remember fondly?
That's actually a question I get emailed a lot when people ask me certain questions. You know what? I'm sure if I had to like think about it for like a week, I probably could give you one. But I don't think there is just one. And I'm not just saying this. Listen, if anyone knows me, I am truly not one of those cheesy people. I don't say things for emotional factor. We have so much fun at work. We really do. And every day is a memory. So for me, I feel like everything I do is a constant like fun day. But the things that stick out to me the most since we started is our opening nights. Opening weekend for us at CM is so big. It means so much to our theater and to our patrons because it's like, we're here again. We did it again. We're here for another show. And we're going to one up it. And the actors are excited. And if you're not in the show, people still come for opening. And it's just that is always the best memories. And I'm lucky enough to have 8 of them a year. We have 8 openings a year. So we got, I think to me, that is the greatest memory is opening a new show for the last 34 years, that we've been here. That has to be. I mean, like I said, you've been there too, Tim, just as long as I have. There's 100,000 memories that we have, and they're all good. But this is a good memory that happens every show, every year.
I have a comment from Hans. Patrick Grossman was a newsie before it was cool.
It is. Oh my God, I didn't think of that. See, I was the original newsie.
Exactly.
Thanks,
I will
Hans.
take my check, please.
Check. That was before Disney too, so gotcha.
Exactly.
No, I'm lying. It wasn't. The movie was first, I think, but
yeah. So John Rivera, who we just talked with, as someone who's been directed by Patrick, I can tell you every rehearsal he is performing.
Yeah, you know why? You know why, everybody? Because I never have a full cast ever. Okay, so I need to play every character. That's why. I'm only kidding. No.
Oh my goodness. So Patrick, what is the biggest myth about directing?
Believe it or not, I never heard a myth. So if there's someone out there listening, if you heard something, can you please comment to Tim so I can answer it? Because I never heard a myth from directing. Have you, Tim?
I think, I mean, like myth is like, a myth would be like maybe, favoritism or, specific things, why you do things the way that they're done. It's the myth. It's just a myth. It's, that's how I take it. Okay. I don't think there's any myth. I think most directors want the best product possible, and they will do everything they can in order to get it to that place where they think that they've made the right decision. And the thing is, that's why Broadway have these trial periods of like, we're going to try out the show. We're going to see how it's going to work. If it doesn't land in the audience, we need to fix that before it goes somewhere else, right?
Right.
But for us in our environment too, it's in CM's environment, we're consistently watching the product that we have, and we're always trying to make it better. So I think the myth is that a director has one vision, but sometimes it can change, and it's not always what we envisioned it to be, but it's just, and it could be just as magical,
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't look at it that way until you said it like that. So you're right. That is a big thing. I think a lot of people need to understand when it comes to directors that the auditions, or even a week before, are not the first time that we're asked to direct that show or that we're working on that show. So, in our case, our shows are picked a year and a half in advance, and the staff is picked as well. So we're planning these shows months, almost a year in advance, as far as everything goes. Not so much who is cast, but the overall look for it. So for me personally, when I go into my auditions, I already know not who I want to cast, but I already know what I want that cast to be like. So, Tim, you're right. It's not so much that I have it, I'm not favoring anybody and stuff like that. It's just that I have now dead set a character in my head of how it needs to be played, and even down to physicality of what I want them to look like. So at that point, yeah, I've been working on it for a year. I know what I want, and my job, unfortunately, it's a rough business we're in, but my job isn't to be fair. My job is to make sure that the doors stay open at the theater, at any theater I work at, but especially at CM, that I have to make sure I do the best for what the company is calling for. And that's the truth, people. That is the truth.
Look right into the camera, Patrick, and say that again.
That is the truth.
So I would ask you, what qualities do you look for in actors that you work with? Because like the people we have that we're going to be talking with today, Katie, Bailey, Steve, even John,
Awful. I hate working with them.
Patrick, have you had wine? Have you had wine?
Ray Dunn, coffee.
Coffee. So, what qualities do you look for in actors, Patrick?
No, honestly, the biggest quality for me, God, is a team player. You have to be a team player. I need. I'm not me personally. There's so many different kinds of directors, but I'm a director that it's not what I say goes. I work with my actors, and I feel like I can. You can ask them if I feel like I don't tell them what to do. You have to move this finger at this point. We work together, and I feel like teamwork makes the dream work, people. And no egos. I cannot deal or work with anyone with an ego. That's just my person. I can't do it. So you have to come in with the team, like a good team player attitude, and just be kind, right? Take the words from Ellen DeGeneres. Just be kind. Other than that, I can work with anybody. I'm pretty easy. I can get along with everybody. Just work as a team and no egos. That's for me. Everyone's different, but that's what I look for, really.
Those are good qualities. So Patrick, this interview in my head was like, we're going to talk with Patrick. We're going to hear all about the show. We're going to talk about directing. And I'm like, wait, we can see the inner workings of Patrick Grossman's brain on the inside. So I think I'm going to ask some pertinent questions like, Patrick, what do you like best about someone's audition? Like, what do you think makes a good audition? This is a masterclass, people, right here.
Yeah.
And it's free.
Well, we could clear that air up right now. Let me tell you something. There's people go to school for this everywhere. I do not think there's a proper way to audition. And I know I'm going to get crucified for saying that, but it's the truth. Every director wants something different, and you can't say that I want, so every director is going to be slightly different. So I can't say this is just my opinion when I'm putting it out there. But I think the casts that come out need to remember that when you walk through those doors, that's when your audition starts. And when you exit those doors, that's when the audition is over. It is not when you're just in the room, because we have stage managers and staff all around, and I feel like we are watching. And I look for someone with personality. And it's a nerve-wracking thing, I understand, but I try to make everyone comfortable in the audition. And we are all the same. We're in the same business together. So although, yes, I'm on the other side of the table, you could be comfortable with me and my staff and any other of my directors at the theater. I feel like they're all, we're all here for the same goal. So honestly, you come in, you smile. That is the only qualification that I'm looking for. You come in, you're positive, you're happy, and you're willing to work. I'm willing to work with you. And honestly, that is truly the case. I'm always willing for new people because it is hard. We work in a community where we do 8 shows a year. It's not, Broadway, we're doing 1 show and same cast, and we're switching out people here and there. We're doing 8 different productions. So you have some of the regulars that come back for every show, but you have some new people that you don't know, and you don't really get to know them just hearing them sing. So we are always open the door for new people. And as long as you could smile and you're willing to work, then I'm willing to work with you. So that's that's all I can ask for.
So my follow-up question, in your experience with working with such a wide range of actors, from people who studied professionally to those who literally like, you know what, I want to be in this show and I want to go and audition because I've never been on stage and I want to have this opportunity. So, the question I'd ask is, do you think acting training is important when you're coming out and working with an organization like CM?
Yeah, I think any training is good. Just like anything in the world, it's what you make of it. If you have to put the work in too. You can't just rely on everyone teaching you. You want to take acting classes, take them, but work with them. You have to work just as hard as they are teaching you. And I think that is good. What I think the best kind of training is just physically doing it. The more you do it, from being in the ensemble, the more you do it, that's how you learn. You learn better that way too, in my opinion, than just going to a teacher for it. You have to be in the field doing it, and you have to want to work.
I love CM as an organization. I think that we've given so many people the opportunity to have their moment to shine on our stage, and the fact that you are leading that charge with a lot of the productions that we're doing, it's really great to hear that and to hear that message, that you put forth the work, you put your effort in, you come in with a positive attitude that smiles on your face, and show us what you can do.
Right.
So Patrick, I would ask you, I keep saying that, but I would ask you, CM, what do you think makes CM special?
It's very simple. We're a family. That's it. There's no, we have no secret recipe. We're not pumping anything in the air. We're a family. And if you really, that's such an easy thing to say, that we're a family. I feel like everyone says that in every business, every other theater too. But you know what? If you really think about what a family is, a family fights. A family may not talk to each other for a long time. A family comes together just for the holidays. A family sees each other all the time. Families have Sunday Italian dinners. Family means so many things, and doesn't always mean it's perfect, but it's family. And regardless what happens, we're always going to come back. And that is what CM is. We are a family, and no matter how bad things get, and it's been rough from when we started to now, there's been times where it's been rough. And if it wasn't for the family, we wouldn't be here right now. So I feel like it's very simple. The word family, you have to think about that yourself, put it into your own life and stuff like that. But is our secret. We're just a family. It's true. You walk in those doors, you're automatic family.
Well, since you're talking about family, let's bring in a couple more of our family members who have been waiting in the wings, like literally on this program, waiting in the wings to make their entrance. So let's bring them in. Patrick, is that good?
Hey, why not?
Okay, good. So we're going to bring in, and we're going to talk about CM's upcoming production of Holiday Inn, the musical. And let's bring in members of the cast. First would be Bailey Whitney. Hey, Bailey.
Yeah.
Hi.
Next will be Steve Cottonaro. And Katie Ferretti. Carrie, are you there? Hey, Katie, can you hear us?
Yes, it's really staticky, but I can hear you.
Well, welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
How has everyone been doing?
A little bored, really bored.
You're performing the show. But.
Yeah. I'm trying to think whose headset is that. Katie, maybe you try signing back into the program, and we'll bring you back in. We'll bring her back in a moment, guys. But thank you. I think it was Katie's because I don't hear it anymore, so I think it was Katie's.
Yeah, it sounds better now.
We'll bring her back in a moment, guys. So thank you so much. So Bailey, what have you been doing for the quarantining?
Well, I'm a teacher, so I'm still teaching online. I have a teacher website that I put videos up every week and have to stay in contact with my parents. And then a lot of nothing, which I'm not used to at all. That's hard.
I spoke with a gentleman was like down the block from me here, and he said that he feels that like teachers are working even more now with all the prep work in order to get things, set for their students and to teach.
It's a lot, and luckily I am used to using the computer, so I know there are some teachers having to learn that whole aspect. But it's a lot, but we're doing it for the kids, and I'm getting nice pictures and videos from my students, so that's really nice.
That's awesome. So we just talked about Patrick as a director. So I would turn it to all of you and ask you, what is it like? I'm going to remove Patrick out of this window.
Hey, no.
What is it like to work with Patrick?
I'll answer this one.
Please.
Is my sound okay?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Good. So a lot of what Patrick was saying about him playing all the different roles is definitely true. I've seen him play every role I've ever played, and he does better than I do. But I think the thing that really sets Patrick apart, if you've ever seen a show Patrick's directed, if you've ever seen a show it's likely that he has directed it. His stylization is so beautifully detailed, and it's so easy to be a performer for him because he gives you the space to explore your character and do your own work. But then when you do have a question, he knows the answer. It's not like maybe try this. He knows exactly what's right. And from everything from how your posture to how your feet are, your hands, or what the stage looks like, just the detail is so beautiful. And that's what I think really sets his shows apart and just makes them so realistic and special.
Yeah, I agree completely. He has his vision and he knows what he wants out of it, but he's willing to work with everybody and see their visions too. And like you said, it's the teamwork, and that's how it is.
So I've watched Patrick work for years. I've seen him as a director. I've seen him as a choreographer. I've seen him as an actor, and I'm like, damn, how does he do all this? Like, I mean, like and someone who has directed before, and you have this visions of how you want things to be, and then you see Patrick doing this with the sets, with the costumes, with the dancing, and there's so many pieces that go into it that make it such a great show, and he knows all of it, and he's done that for. I mean, Patrick, how many years have you been directing? 15, 16? I mean, well, you said 2000, so 20 years.
Directing and choreographing 20 years, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well,
but I'm only 22 years old, so.
Then I would be 25, so I will I will take that. So first off, I want to say with everybody who's here on this panel that it has been such a pleasure to watch all of you on the stage. You all command the stage in your own way. And as an audience member, I have always looked forward to seeing your names in the program on the stage. I mean, Bailey, you were in On the Town, you were in Shrek, you were in Young Frankenstein, and so many more. Steve, you were in The Music Man, you were in Grease. I love this picture. Young Frankenstein, you were in Beauty and the Beast. I think I just said that, but you were in Beauty and the Beast. Let me find that picture with Katie. You guys performed in that. And Katie, you were in Phantom of the Opera with us, and Les Mis, and Into the Woods, and You know, and then White Christmas. I think this is White Christmas, right, Katie?
Yes.
I mean, so many incredible roles, and very commanding actors. So I would ask you, you guys have all played theater staple characters. What's your favorite, and why?
God, I'll start here. I haven't talked. I'd say that my favorite role that I've ever played at CM was definitely Frederick in Young Frankenstein. But honestly, it's because of Patrick and the type of material he brings to a show. He brings like this magic to a stage that is so fun to be a part of, and he just makes dreams come true, and it's just very rewarding to be a part of that. So take any dream role of yours, and if it's in a Patrick production, it's gonna be magical, because that's what he does. That's my favorite show.
That's great.
I don't know.
Bailey, what would be yours?
That's so tough. I've loved playing so many of my parts. One of them was Young Frankenstein, playing Inga, and also it has to be Fiona in Shrek, because she was a princess who also farted. So there was I was going back and forth playing the part.
Katie, what would be yours?
I think I've loved doing all of the shows that I've done at CM. I've never done one that I was like, this one wasn't that fun or whatever. But I think a really special one was Mary Poppins, only because it was taking on a role that Julie Andrews played, who I really admire. And also it was a role that never was something I ever had thought of that would be like a possibility. It just didn't seem like a show that a community theater would be able to produce. And then when that came around and I had that experience, and it felt like magic, not only performing it, like I know people seeing it saw it as magic, but even like watching what was going on backstage and knowing how all the tricks happened, it still felt magical. It was really, really special.
Yeah.
So I would ask you, why do you guys choose to perform at CM?
Oh God, because CM's great. CM is it's like Patrick said, it's a family. You don't really feel like you're really working, although you are working. You feel like you just feel like you're part of something really special. And I've done shows at other theaters too, but CM is always the place that I feel like is the place where I feel most comfortable. And I work there too, so it's like you feel like you're part of many aspects of a production that you're in. And so you're proud of it.
Yeah, Katie, you went like this.
Yeah, I think it's just a place that I think for all of us, it's the place that we always come back to. We'll all go do shows someplace else, but inevitably there'll be something on CM season that's exciting to us. My wife does shows there as well, so it literally is in our family, and whatever the final product is going to be something you're excited to invite people to, that you're proud to have people come see. And it's just such a nice environment. The whole staff is lovely. The production teams are so talented. The caliber of performer is amazing. So I feel like I learn a lot when I'm working there with the other people that I'm on stage with. Steve and Bailey are incredible, so I love working with them too. And it's the place, like I said, you just keep going back to it. It feels like home. There we are.
The reason I ask these questions is because we, in our mission statement, CM talks about how we're home to people. Do you consider CM your home?
Absolutely.
Bailey?
Yeah, I only am able to do maybe about 1 or 2 shows a year with my busy teaching and coaching schedule, and whenever I can, I always try to go back and do a show at CM because I'm always welcomed back. It is a family. I love working with everybody there. It absolutely is.
It's fun to even just hang out there, honestly. Like sometimes I'll even just be driving home from work, and if I'm passing by, CM, I'll just stop in and be like, hey, what's going on? what's everybody doing? And it's always welcome to people to come in like that, and just, you feel, your friends are there. So it's a nice place to hang out.
So, friends, while you're watching, please feel free to hit the Facebook and the YouTube page for questions and comments. We have one from Jess Ferretti and Adler Ferretti. I'm personally insulted that Stephen Patrick didn't say SNF. So we heard from Larissa as well. She heard that the staff is pretty cool there. And what did she say? We'll jump back over. So please feel free to definitely ask questions. We'll bring those into the interview. And also, I want to remind people that today I'm supposed to be pushing for people to donate. So please consider the link that's right down below. Please look at cmpac.com/donate, and please consider donating to CM today. So let's jump right into talking about the production Holiday Inn. So it was on Broadway in 2015, and I watched some of the trailers from the show, and I have to say that it is a fast-paced, high-energy production, and I've never seen the show before, and today I read the synopsis, and it is safe to say that this is a heavy, plot-heavy show with lots of incredible songs, fantastic dance numbers. It's like a huge show. So Steve, I would ask you, can you tell me about what the show's about?
Yeah. So it's well, a lot of things happen. There's these three performers, Jim, Ted, and Lila, and they do kind of like this trio, 3-person show. They go around doing the show. They keep performing, but like Jim doesn't want to perform anymore. So, and Jim is in a relationship with Lila, and he tells Lila that, he wants to stop performing. He wants to move to a farm in Midville, Connecticut. And Lila doesn't want to stop performing. She wants to Lila wants to keep performing. So she stays on the road with Ted. And, Jim goes to the farm, to this big, beautiful farmhouse. Where Holiday Inn mostly takes place, and that's where he meets Linda Mason, played by Katie. And so you got kind of two different storylines going on: one with Lila and Ted on the road, and then back at the farm with Jim and Linda. So and then they all come together, and a lot of things happen. But that's pretty much how things get going.
Katie, who do you play in the show? I know he just said it, but I didn't catch the character name.
I play Linda.
Okay.
In the show. Yeah. So she lives in Connecticut where Steve's character ends up, and they sort of meet, and I guess it's predictably there's like the little spark of romance because she is the homebody, farmer type that he's trying to be, and things go on from there.
Bailey, who do you play in the show?
I play Lila, and he's part of the trio act at the beginning. She's a showgirl that's trying to make it big and doesn't want to go off with Steve's character to be just a homebody type character.
Mm-hmm. So I thought, being that this was an urban Berlin show, and it's using urban Berlin, that these characters would just the ones from White Christmas would continue right into this show. That's not the case, right? It's a whole different storyline, right?
Everything. Nothing's remotely the same.
Yeah. It's I think people may get confused with that because in the movies, Bing Crosby was in both of the movies and played a very similar type. The two movies have a similar trope where there is a singing couple and a dancing couple. But it's totally different stories, totally different characters. Those are the 4 characters from White Christmas.
Yep.
So Bailey and I played sisters in that, but we're not sisters in this one. Very different.
Very.
Got it. Okay, because I honestly, I was like, wait, Katie, can you talk about how the characters are the same and you're getting to play the character in a trend? So it is the same. The similarity between the two is the music and the writing by Irving Berlin.
Mhm.
So, Stepping Out with My Baby, Blue Skies, Heat Wave, It's a Lovely Day Today, Cheek to Cheek. What is it like to sing all of these famous songs?
We don't know
Wonderful.
yet.
We don't know yet. I heard a lot of these songs growing up over the years,
Yeah.
so it's nice to be a part of something that you never think you'd find yourself in a situation singing these songs
Mhm.
until a show like this happens. At least for me. So it's nice because I like doing a show where they have like the whole review of the songs and they fit it into a plot, and they did a really good job with this one. I think it's a really fun plot, and it's really exciting, and it's got all the elements of a show there, so it's really nice.
It doesn't feel like a jukebox musical. Like the songs are just crammed in, like
Right.
to get as many in it. They make sense where they are, and they really help to tell the story.
So it's moving the plot along. It's not just thrown in.
Yeah.
Got it. So who is a favorite song and why?
I have two. The first, okay, I'm gonna get the title wrong because I'm just nervous and under pressure right now. But the first song that Bailey, Steve, and Miguel do together, what is that one?
Stepping Out with My Baby.
Yeah, it's so cute. The choreography is adorable. They all sound great. They look great. It's so much fun to watch. And then my other favorite one, Katie Ferretti, who's another lead in the show. She's not on this tonight, but she does Shaking the Blues Away, and she sounds so good. The cast is amazing. She plays a super funny, like nosy neighbor type character. She's hysterical, and just seeing her physicality in that song and getting to watch her shine. She's done a bunch of shows at CM, and getting to see her really take center stage in this one has been really fun.
That's awesome.
So that's it for me. Those are my two favorites.
I think I have two favorites too. I think I also really like Stepping Out with My Baby. I always like the first song of a show. I think it's and it's a fun thing to do with the two of them. It's like we're really kind of playing around and doing a show for people. I like that one. I also love the song that me and Katie do. Let's Take an Old-Fashioned Walk. Just because it's so simple, and there's not much to it. It's just we're just going for a walk, but I just enjoy it for some reason. I don't know, because I love Katie. It's just really fun. It's a lot of fun.
I love you.
So we have a comment from Jay. So happy to see Bailey and Katie reunited.
Right? I'm saying.
We're happy to be reunited.
So we have a question from Christine. Hi, folks. Question for the fabulous Patrick. What does your preparation look like prior to rehearsals? To the talented actors. Well, let's answer that first question, and we'll come back to the next one. What does your preparation look like prior to rehearsals?
That you have to I have to shout out to my stage managers. Thank you, all my lovely stage managers, Karen, TZ, and Amanda. They're the ones that really prep everything for me. They have that room clean. They have the music ready to go. Any fake set that we're using or any fake prop they have prepared for me. Typically, though, for me, I do a little quick run through in my head. I need like 20 minutes to a half an hour by myself with my script open, music playing, and I kind of like go through everything I want to do in my head first. But everything that I always have in my head after watching these, like especially these three talented people, they bring so much more to the table that I don't even get to do what I want to do because they're doing it better than I am. So it's a little prep work. I just basically go through the whole scene, or I should say whatever I'm doing that night. I go through that for about half an hour.
Got it.
Thank you, Christine.
And then the second part of that question, which for some reason my program has stopped working. So, but the second part was to the talented actors. Any fun pre-show rituals I'm a big fan.
I don't really have any pre-show rituals. I think I just try not to freak myself out too much. And, I'm not used to being in the first number of a show. I'm in this one, so I might have a little bit of a pre-show ritual for this one, but just trying to focus, think about what I need to do, have everything. Nothing fun.
Katie, you raise your hand.
Yeah, it's madness. The pre-show rituals. It's, if one time I had one kind of cup of tea and like then had a good show, like from then on until forever, I have to, have that same kind of cup of tea. So I think it's just, as a group, us performers get into these like kind of habits where, this person has this kind of soup before they go on and this person has to listen to this playlist. And I think it's fun to see everybody's, idiosyncratic behaviors before they're about to go on stage. And some people are so calm, which to me is, I don't even understand it. Amanda usually calls places and I'm like, ew, like I don't, but we all, I think, have little things that make us feel comfortable before we go on.
Yeah. For me, I just make sure that I'm eating something. So I go to the
You're
bathroom.
One of those types, Steve.
Yeah. Gotta eat something, gotta go to the bathroom, make sure your tooth is in, and everything is good to go. Then I just kind of wait in the wings, and I just freak out in the wings for a little bit until you start. Yeah. But you're with everybody else at that point, so it's like kind of calms you down.
Yeah. So this show has a lot of dancing in it, right?
I would love to say something really quick.
Please.
Talking about when you guys were asking everyone's favorite numbers, there's a huge person we're forgetting about with this production in particular, and that's Ashley McCastro. And I cannot believe the choreography in this show. This show has over 20 dance numbers in it, and they're not just dance numbers. I'm talking about tap. I'm talking about dancing with garland. Here we go. This is half our cast. This is a video that was put out. The choreography is just absolutely incredible. The amount of work that this cast has done, tap dancing and jump roping with garland, like we're doing right now, it truly is amazing. And all three of them here, like the co-stars with me tonight, they also have to do so much dancing. So months and months and months and months of work went into this. So this is why it's so. Katie, stop! You're perfect. That's why this is, I think, so. It's always going to be a shame whenever anyone works so hard on the show and it can't happen. But if this what's going on in the world right now can't be fixed, it's a real shame. The amount of work that went into this show and the choreography is out of control. Between the cast working so hard and Ashley working so hard, I just felt like we had to say that Ashley really worked her butt off on this one.
This is turning into a very fun technical broadcast for me today. I hear the stories, the sound coming into my ear, but the dancing. I mean, seriously, watching this cast doing a full tap number while using a jump rope. I mean, it looks absolutely incredible.
Practicing social distancing right here.
So she's choreographing this show. It's how many dance numbers are in this piece?
Oh, definitely. I don't want to quote the numbers, so let's just say it's definitely more than an average musical, and they're a lot longer than the average musical. Right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah. In one dance number, the choreography is so complex. It's so fast paced. So there's a lot of choreography for each number, and then there's a lot of numbers. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask, how long does it take to choreograph one number?
In a show like this?
Yeah.
I would say this show, every number, for the most part, I would say 95% of the numbers had about 2 to 2.5 nights. because of the amount of it, and then cleaning it and making sure it worked and getting the sound right and the props right. It's a very prop heavy dance. It's a lot of lifts for like Bailey's character. She's very physical with her character and her dancing, and Shaking the Blues Away, which is what the video you just saw kind of as everyone working on. That's very, very physical. That's tap dancing, like I said, with garland and wreaths, and we hit every holiday. So it's a lot. It's definitely about 2 nights per number. If Ashley's watching, Ashley, you can make a comment to Tim.
It looks so intricate and it looks beautiful, and I cannot wait to see it on the stage. Katie's back. Here you are, Katie. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
Hey. So,
Tim, I actually can't hear you. I hear everybody else but you. Should I close out for a second?
I'm not sure, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the fun part of doing stuff online. It just seems to be a fun technical day today. Lovely. So why should people come and see this show?
Who wants that one, Katie?
Please, Katie, go.
I think, especially with everything that's going on right now, it's just going to be such a nice way to enter back into like our normal life, because it's such a lighthearted and sweet show. The plot is it's just sweet. There's nothing heavy about it. There's nothing really overthinky about it. It's just light and happy. There's nothing bad goes on. Like the bad things that go on are sort of comic, and it's just a nice escape from, the craziness and having to hear about what's on the news and everything. And I know we kind of got like this close to being able to do it, and looking forward to, getting it back up on its feet when the time is right.
We have a comment from Jeff Pangburn. I've never danced so hard in my life. You will not be disappointed.
Well,
Jeff,
we love you so
Jeff
much.
Does not dance in the show. This is the best role Jeff has ever played. He's so funny.
Jeff, thank you. Also, I want to just thank Jeff from the bottom of my heart. He's been very supportive through this whole thing of this theater. So thank you, Jeff.
We have another a comment from Jess. You danced pretty hard in Joseph. We'll see. Who's that to? Is that to Katie?
That was to Jeff, I believe.
Oh, okay. So guys, if you have any questions for the panel here, please feel free to chime in. We're about to finish. We've been going for about an hour and 8 minutes. So if you have any questions, now's the time to throw those in. Let's see. Patrick, we have a question for you.
Yeah.
Hi, Holiday and family. Question for Pat from John. Favorite show you ever designed that left you speechless?
Again, I don't know how to. Hi, John. Thank you for all your help. I don't really know. I think every show is so different. I don't know. I can't really. That's so annoying because I know the answer to it. I just can't think of the right. I don't know. I think most of them. If I had to pick one right now, offhand, I really love the way Idiot came out. I thought, why I'm going to say Idiot? I'm going to say American Idiot because it's not anything we've ever done before. Is that fair? It's not the typical show, so it's so different than what we usually do. So I think that I'll say that one came out visually stunning. I'm sorry. I love all the shows. I don't do a show I don't love. So that's it. Thanks, John.
We have a question from Katie. Patrick, do you think of a Real Housewife tagline yet for yourself?
Yes, I have.
Can you share that? Is it appropriate?
You want me to do it? You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Go big or go home. That's my motto.
And that's what, and honestly, that is what this show is about. It is going big. It is big choreography. It is big dancing. It is the songs that the Irving Berlin tunes. And it's a show that's going to keep you entertained. that's going to want you to, come back and to see the show again. So guys, I would say, if we have no other questions there, guys, thank you so much for coming and sharing a little bit about Holiday Inn, about this incredible show that will be coming to CM in the future, and then having you guys here to share the story and to talk about how wonderful the show is. Is there any last words that people have from the panel here?
I just want to say, as artistic director, my first concern is that all my members, everyone is healthy and safe and doing the right thing by staying home. So please continue doing that. And to this panel, Bailey, Steve, and Katie, I have the pleasure of working with you so many times throughout the years, like the three of you, which is really weird, a lot together and individually. And you are definitely, one of my favorites. And I appreciate you guys coming on today and helping us spread the word about Holiday Inn. And we will have Holiday Inn will happen. It will absolutely happen. So thank you. And Tim, thank you so much for doing this. I think it's so important for everyone to get a sense of what's going on. And I hope everyone stays healthy. I know that it got pushed until May 15th, and I know that stinks, but we're doing things like this to keep us all connected. And CM will always be here. We will fight to be here. We are a family for everybody, and we'll do things like this to stay connected. So please have the faith and help us, and we'll help you, and we'll get through this together, guys. So thank you so much. Seriously.
So earlier, guys, I spoke about this link right down at the bottom and how hard it is to ask people for money. It's a difficult task. It's a hard thing to say, what, we're a nonprofit organization. We depend upon our patrons who come in the door to see our shows. And because we can't open our doors at this time to be able to do that, we still have bills we have to pay. We still have things that we have to, deadlines that we have to make, and helping us today to donate to that cmpac.com/donate will really be incredible, regardless whether it is $1, whether it's $5, whether it's $10. Just ask you to think about donating to us today. So with everybody here on the panel, thank you so much for being here. I very much had a wonderful time talking with you, and it's just another acknowledgement about how talented everyone is, and how CM really does have those people that care, that really want to do great work, and I hope that we get to see you sooner than later.
Please.
So, okay, I'm gonna close out, and again, thank you guys, Bailey, Steve, Patrick, Katie. This has been a very fun technical show today. It's been great. But guys, thank you so much. So, fantastic people. They're all just doing amazing things. And I know that once this show opens, the audience is just simply going to be blown away by how fantastic this show is. And when you see these three, as well as the entire cast, it's just going to be like what we talked about, magic. So in the next upcoming weeks here on CM Spotlight, we will be bringing in Broadway Conductor, Music Director, Orchestrator, CM Alumni, Sonny Paladino. And then on April 30th, we will talk with jazz and pop recording artist, the incomparable Jane Monheit. And then on May 7th, we're doing a series called Name Drop. And I thought it would be no better way to start it off than with the boys. Craig Boscia, Rob Buchwald, Bob DiPergio, Mike DiPergio, and Frank Gabriel, talking about their lives working in theater, growing up with theater, where they've gone and what they've been doing, and how it all connects to CM. And we're so excited. I have to say, I'm very, very excited about it happening, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to control myself, because this group of people, they know how to tell a story. They know how to laugh. So I would say, please come and join the Name Drop with these boys, and oh, the stories that you are going to hear. So please, please, please don't miss it. So again, we have the Cabaret series. John, thank you so much for staying here the whole time.
This is entertainment.
On the broadcast. Thank you for being here. Is that your dog?
This is one of them, yeah. This is Sly Guy.
That's his name, Sly Guy?
Just Sly, but the guy is optional.
Well, again, so we have the CM Cabaret coming up tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Miscast Cabaret, hosted by John. And then I have to say it again because this is what I was charged with. We have to ask you, please, you know, as you've heard, CM is fundraising, and the best way, this is just a fun technical night, and the best way to support CM through this is to donate. You can visit cmpac.com/donate, and that will take you to our GoFundMe page. Any dollar amount will help, and it will help continue our work once we can invite you back into the theater. So please, 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 please consider. So with that, John, thank you so much for being here. That
Thanks
wraps
for
up
having
another. Yeah, thank you guys. It wraps up another episode of CM Spotlight. On behalf of the organization, please, 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 please stay safe, healthy, wear those masks. I am living my Dorothy fantasy realness with my blue gingham mask that I wear out in public. So I hope you guys will continue to wear your masks too. So please be well, and we will see you next week. See you then.